Yeah, I got new glasses. Once I get my hair done, it'll look better. But whatever. Today is Friday, July 14th. Today was my first full day back at work since Thursday of last week. So I had like a week. I had 32 hours off. Yeah, 32 hours off. I just been dealing with my emotions, y'all. Just dealing with my emotions. But that's not what this video is about. Let me tell y'all something. So y'all know about my $900 apartment dilemma. Apartment living, right? So I told you guys before. I don't know where I left off with this, but before, the maintenance man checked both of those apartments out. He didn't see anything. I just felt like they were rushing. It was management, but she was on vacation. It was the front office people, don't get me wrong, but the lady who provided me the information, she was like, yeah, sign here, sign here. I told you guys about that, right? I was on my lunch break. Oh, we need to see you in the office. I thought they were going to be like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Anyways, they hit me with, oh, you're going to pay $900. How many messages you got and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay. Now, y'all know I was just like, ugh. But at the same time, I'm like, I just want peace of mind. I have this money in my extra rent fund. So we'll be covered, basically. All of it would be basically covered besides, like, less than $100, right? So I'm like, cool. Of course, in the beginning, for me, I'm like, we don't go anywhere. Jamez is not allowed at anybody's house. My sister hasn't come here recently. The last time she really was in the house was I think around November-ish. I seen her recently, like a couple months ago. And they came in, but they sat, over here. And because I told them I didn't want them in the house. But it was hot outside. Or was it hot outside? I forgot what was going on outside. But they came in. I said, don't sit on the couches, because I just didn't know, I just had them stay in this area. Of course, I haven't seen anything downstairs, okay? Then we went to Top Golf, so they weren't in here long. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to be the one responsible for somebody else catching this and bringing it to their own apartment or home, right? And I don't have people over. I don't have people over. And one thing, let me tell y'all something. One thing that the apartment manager, she kept asking, does your son have friends over? Do anybody else come over? So my whole thinking is, I keep telling you no. Why do you keep asking me this? And then it kind of rang in my head. She probably asking about me. Like, do you have people? No, I'm a widow. I'm not a relationship type of person. Been there, done that. I'm good. I like being single, okay? I love being single. So it finally clicked. I'm like, I kept saying my son doesn't have anybody over, but then she was probably like, she probably was thinking like, girl, you missing the question, but you're not asking me directly. And I'm not thinking like that, because I know I don't have nobody over. I kept telling her nobody comes over. The last time my sister was in my house, it was like November-ish, sitting around chilling for hours, right? So anyways, fast forward, I had asked for the professionals to come look at my place. The thing was, this is what ended up happening. The person checked out the one apartment, because the first one I ever seen, if you guys don't know, I was in my feelings, and I was just sleeping on my new couch, right? I was sleeping on the couch. I was down here for like 3 days straight, okay? 3 days straight. By the time I had to go back to work, I went upstairs, about to log in, and I'm like, what's this little thing on the floor? Like, I tell you guys, I pay attention. My house may not be the cleanest, but no, that's a whole bunch of laundry right there, y'all. That's laundry that just needs to be folded. Not dirty clothes, but laundry. Give me a moment. So anyways, yeah, I'm like, I don't have people over. My sister, last time she was really here was like in November-ish. So anyways, I kept seeing them, right? It was not every day. Oh, so anyways, they checked out the one apartment. He didn't see anything because he seen it in my room. Oh, I told him I seen it in my room. As I mentioned, let me kind of rewind. I just put some food in the air fryer for myself. So I kind of went over this, but I'm just going to explain. I was sleeping downstairs for like 2 to 3 days straight. Haven't really been upstairs besides using the bathroom. Probably not even showering, but y'all get my drift. And anyways, it was time for me to, log into work. And I pay attention. Okay, I pay attention. Anyways, seen this little thing on the floor. I'm thinking it's lint or whatever, right? I blow on it. It don't move. So I'm like, okay, I got to get closer. Still don't move. Now, my floors upstairs are wooden, like that hard wood, like real wood, right? And this is an older complex. So stuff just looks like what it is, right? So anyways, I get a tissue. Sure enough, y'all, freaked me out. I was like, this ain't gonna be happening. And this happened when I moved in here too, y'all. Keep this in mind. This is what happened when I moved in here, okay? So, it gave me flashbacks. Like, my heart sank, y'all. My heart sank. So, immediately, I'm like, girl, I'm like, okay, it must just be one. Now, y'all probably don't remember, we went to the LMA concert, right? And I'm like, well, we were sitting down. What if it was on, these things? And I'm like, I'm thinking the one time we actually go somewhere and this is what we bring back, right? And they're like, well, your son's in school. He could have it in his backpack or his clothing. And I'm like, out of all these years, not all of a sudden, but I'm going with the flow. So anyways, fast forward, they check out the other apartment. The maintenance man doesn't see anything. So I was just like, they were like, oh yeah, go to the office, or call me to the office, blah, blah, blah. Yep, it's going to be $900. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I got to get back to work. I'm not trying anything else. Let me go back to work. Anyways, I emailed the property manager. She was on vacation, but when she got back, I was just like, hey, this is an issue I had when I moved in here. Okay, I said, if I'm responsible, I take full accountability. I don't mind paying this money if it is truly an issue of mine. I understand the maintenance man did not find anything in these 2 adjoining apartments. I would like a second opinion. So the thing is, they never even came to my apartment. Maintenance never came to my apartment. I seen one, so you got them, right? That was it. So I'm like, okay. I said, what I would like, before we proceed with anything, $900 is $900. I would like the professionals to come. I said, I want professionals to come, okay? Oh, the maintenance man knows what to look for. He's not the professional. He's the maintenance man. Does he have a certificate in this stuff? No. I understand he knows what to look for. Automatically, you're telling me, I seen it in your room, or you had it in your room, so I'm just going to check the adjoining apartment. Like, these things crawl around, right? So why are you just going to check one apartment? I just didn't like how this stuff was all going. Anyways, you guys, the professionals come, tore up our bed. Like, they were here for a couple, like, I don't know, probably, let's say 15 minutes or whatever. There was 2 guys. One was in my son's room, one was in my room, taking apart our mattresses, looking at everything, looking at the baseboards. Me and Jamez were sitting downstairs, but they were here for a while. Okay, when maintenance man checked out this apartment and that apartment, it was kind of fast. Well, I know for this one it was kind of fast. He's like, they're not the cleanest people, but still, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. And at my thought, they were like, the maintenance, these professionals did not see any signs. They checked my couch, nothing. There's nothing on our beds, no signs that there's been anything. And they were like, how long have you had these mattresses for? And I'm like, we've had it for like a year or so, because the one I got, I probably had it for a year. I know I recently bought Jamez one back, like in December, November-ish. but he still had my old one. So if there was anything, there would still be signs, right? Even the old mattress, because Jamez has the new one and then the older one. You know, he has it kind of high, right? So nothing. So anyways, these professionals come. They's like, I don't understand. There's no signs. It could have just been those few, right? You probably caught them all. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because my whole thinking is my son has a rug in his room. If you guys remember, when I got the new couch, Jamez has been wanting a rug. He has this rug, which is like a furry one. So it's hard to vacuum. I've never tried to vacuum it. He tried to vacuum it, and he says like the hairs get caught up in it. So I'm like, oh, they're probably in your carpet. Like I kept telling him, ooh, Jamez, your room is the one that got the bugs. I don't go anywhere, right? You gotta go to school. It's you, right? And like I keep telling him, I said I can't see in his room, but he, as I mentioned, I tell the truth. Like I don't go in his room looking on the floor. He has a rug in there. I asked him if he sees anything. He says no. I'm not getting bit. He's not getting bit. You know. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So the professionals come. They didn't see any signs. So I told the manager in an email, I said, let's cancel out cancel out even trying to get an appointment. Okay, they didn't see anything, so there's not a big issue. I don't know where these things are coming from. Okay, well, we'll hold off. If you see any more, let us know. Some time goes by, see him again. Now it's like one here, one day, another 3-4 days, then you see another one in the hallway. Now let me tell you something. This is what I have. When I first seen the first one, I was like, I was freaked out. So the first thing I bought was this Ortho bed bug killer. You know, I spray the hallway. I definitely did my room. So we did that. That's one. Now this one I haven't even used. The other one's still upstairs. The other thing I got was this. Okay, it's this right here. This really kills them. Something earth. So I had 3 of these. I got these off of Amazon. I got 3 of those and 2 of the big things, right? As you see, I haven't even used the other one. So you know, did my room. I definitely did my room. Sprayed it down. Let that stuff dry. Then I put the powder down, okay, around all of my perimeter. So from there, I'm like, okay, now what, right? Don't see anything for a while. Then a week or 2 later, you see another one. A couple days later, you see another one. I'm like, only in the hallway. So I'm like, I can't see in my son's room. Are they coming from my son's room and walking out in the hallway? What, you know? And I keep telling them, I don't go in my son's room looking for anything. I put it at the end, like under his rug. Some of that earth, that powder, when I put it under his rug. So I'm like, if they're down there. But anyways, when I kept bringing them to them, this is what ended up happening. She was like, the only way we're going to speed up this process is if you bring, once, you know, the people left and I canceled out having any appointment. They didn't have anything scheduled, okay? They didn't see anything, so the people really didn't want to come out and do anything until I actually had a live one, okay? A live one. So now you figure I've done all of this stuff, right? I did my baseboards like on the stairs, because I'm like, if it's from the adjoining apartment, I'm gonna do my stairs, you know, in the crevices by the rug. And I'm just like, okay. So anyways, she was like, I was like, you make sure you give me an advance notice. She's like, well, first, before they proceed, they're going to want to see a live one, right? So I'm like, okay. You know, days go by before I see one. I catch it, put it in a Ziploc bag. The following day, I bring it to the office. It's dead. She's like, well, this is not really going to help if it's not alive. I'm like, well, I did my whole upstairs. Well, at this time, it was just my room. I hadn't even done Jamez's room. Because I'm like, we got to take out all those clothes. So all of these clothes, there's a whole bunch of them. are Jamez's clothes. We gotta put some upstairs. We gotta put them back upstairs. But these are a lot of some of them my clothes, but mostly Jamez's clothes. Okay, he has a lot of clothes. So I'm like, all right, now you want me to catch a live one? I catch it. Some of them are just dead. Like, I'm like, it's dead. So okay, when the guy, he was like, it's dead, and I'm like, okay. She keeps saying it's dead. I'm like, when I called it, I'm pretty sure it was alive, but I'm not too sure because I'm not looking at these things, right? I catch it with the toilet tissue and put it in the bag, and she's like, well, after a while, I kept bringing some in, and she was like, let's make sure you keep some air in it. She said there's been a couple where, they last up to like a year in a bag. They can last. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, they can last in a baggie as long as they have air and stuff. So I'm like, okay, keep bringing. I find one or two back to back, right? Bring it. By the time I bring it there, they're dead. So she's like, I don't understand. So anyways, one day I was in the office, brought some, and she started squeezing. She's like, why is it black? So she called the maintenance guy. This is what she kept saying. She's like, it doesn't make sense that they're only in your hallway. Well, that's where I'm finding them. Only in a specific spot, okay? Only in a specific spot. Now, if y'all know my upstairs hallway, it is not big, okay? I could put my laundry right here. We got the bathroom right here. And then we got this little space right here. My son's room right here. My room's right there. It's not a lot of space up there. But these things I'm catching only in this one area by like our rooms, okay? Not by the bathroom, not by the little laundry, not even on the side of the thing. It's right here. So she's like, this doesn't make any sense. This is what she keeps telling she called him to the office. She's like, okay, she bought some more in. I want you to come, and she was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why are they just here? And I said, they seem to only come out at night. And she was like, yeah, that's what they usually do. They come out at night and bite. And I'm like, okay. But she's like, why are they only in the hallway? And I keep telling them it's only in a specific part of the hallway. And it's not a big hallway, but this is where I'm finding them. And she was like, she kept telling the maintenance man, this doesn't make any sense. I don't understand, She's like, I can't schedule anything because when they come, they're dead. And she's like, I just don't understand. She's like, so anyway, she was playing around with them, right? And she's like, these things are, like, the stuff that's coming out of them are black. She's like, it shouldn't be black, should it? The maintenance man was like, well, you figure if they're dead, then it could be that. She's like, this is what she said. I don't think so. Like, she was questioning it, right? She just wasn't for sure, right? Because you figure in the beginning, when I seen that first one, and then I seen a second one, or when I seen that first one, they were automatically like, yeah, we're going to schedule an appointment, right? Automatically. They were like, we're going to schedule an appointment. You seen one, it's in your apartment. Now, all of a sudden, they're just taking their time, right? They're just taking their sweet time. So I'm like, okay, cool, right? Not cool, but I'm like, okay, we're not jumping the gun on this. Now, of course, every time I see them, after a while, I'm not getting used to it. I'm not as freaked out, but it's still an issue that needs to be resolved, right? But I'm like, Candace, keep it calm. Keep it calm. I don't want these things in my apartment, but I'm like, I kept telling her, I'm ready. I said, it's not a one day thing. I know the people said they didn't see any in mine. The maintenance man said he didn't see any signs in these other two. I said, they're coming from somewhere. If I'm the only one seeing them, we have to rectify the issue. Let's schedule an appointment. But she kept saying, to speed up the process, we have to have a live one. So anyways, as I mentioned, she was squeezing these things. I had two in a baggie that time. One I found over the weekend. The other one was like on a Sunday. They came in on Monday. And she was just squeezing them. She's like, these things are, the stuff that's coming out of them are black. She said, I'm not used to seeing, because, when people have issues, they bring it to the office, right? She asked them to bring it to the office. So I'm like, she's like, this doesn't seem right to the maintenance man. She was like, okay, if you see any more, just make sure you catch them. Make sure you have air in them. Okay, in the baggie. And I'm like, okay, I got it. So anyways, a little time goes by, seen some more, put it in the baggie. By the time I bring it to the office the following morning, they're dead. And she's like, what's going on? I'm like, well, I did my own treatment and but I kept telling her, I says only in a specific area. So anyways, recently, like my son was like, Mom, there's bats up there, right? She said, what? He was like, what if they're eating off the bats? And I'm like, what, James? He said, yeah. He's like, you can Google it. And I'm just like, okay. I didn't even look because I'm not thinking bed bugs and bats, right? So anyways, I caught some more, seen some more. They're dead. Like there was a couple where they were alive, but about time the following morning they were dead. And some of them I have caught on the ground and they're just dead. Because once again, I would say for the floor upstairs in that area, I douse it. Like I spray. Take its time to get dry, soak through that wood, okay? This is only in against the wall, okay? Against the wall, I got dogs. You don't want to step on that stuff anyways. So, yeah, y'all. There goes that. So, anyways, James mentioned that. He's like, well, we got bats. The bats live up in our attic. Okay? So, anyways, James, this is what James said. So, James mentioned this. No, I don't know if James mentioned this before or after. I think it was after. Let me tell you something. So, after I kept saying I keep finding them only in this particular small part of my hallway, my small hallway, he ended up coming. She said, I'm going to have the maintenance guy come to your apartment. Now, of course, I got to go to work. I don't know when maintenance is coming. They don't give me a time frame, so I'm working. My son, thank goodness, he's home now, right? Give me a moment. So anyways, there's a knock on the door. Luna about to start barking. I'm like, girl, I'm on these phone calls. So anyways, James comes downstairs and Luna's like on high alert. Like she want to start barking, right? And I'm like, Luna, I put myself on mute. Luna. Anyways, he said, after I got off work, he was like, yeah, the maintenance guy tried to come. He had a ladder, but I told him that you were working, so please, keep it quiet. And he's like, they came halfway up the stairs, but once I mentioned that, they left, And because James was like, he don't want me to get in trouble, right? And he know the dogs are in my room, especially Luna. So anyways, he said, yeah, they came upstairs, but walked out after he mentioned, that I was at work. And, he's like, they had a ladder. It was kind of be loud, and he's like, I didn't want that to happen. So he's like, I didn't tell them to leave, but they left, So I'm like, okay. I put it like that. He's like, I said, I wonder what they wanted, He's like, that's when he was like, well, we have bats up there. What if they're like eating off the bats? I'm like, what, James? He's like, that's probably what they wanted to check. I'm like, that don't make any sense. So anyways, I'm like, okay, all right. So anyways, time goes by, seen some more, bring it to the office. I'm like, I find some alive, like 1 out of every 5, right? I haven't found too many, but when they come, it's just like, where are they coming from, right? So I'm like, I bring some more to the office. I'm speaking with the manager. I said, so when are we going to schedule this appointment? She's like, well, you're not bringing anything that's alive. I'm like, well, I did my own treatment. I said, they're dying. But I said, you said that something didn't seem right. You said when you squeezed it, you was like, the stuff is black. It shouldn't be like that. She's like, oh, no, I don't know. Now she's right reneging on what she said before, right? She's like, oh, I don't know, It could be something different. I don't know if it's just because it's old. And so she's kind of going back to what the other person said. She's like, I said, well, the maintenance man came to my apartment and my son said that they had left, but they had a ladder. Oh, she was like, oh, yeah, they were going to check the attic. And I'm like, oh, well, just so you know, there's bats up there. Because I've seen some fly in and out, especially at nighttime. Not recently, but yeah, there was a whole bunch of them just flying in and out, in and out. We used to have that problem before we moved in here, and it happened a couple of times. After afterwards, but they put like this meshing wire up there. Like when I heard them, I don't care about bats being up there. Okay, I don't care. But anyways, I guess before, they used to do like these things to check out the attic, not the attics, but to check out the stuff. And yeah, so anyways, they put like a mesh wiring at the top, right, where they thought they were coming in and out from, and they had that on all of the apartments. Okay, so it wasn't just mine, but we did have bats up there. So anyways, she was like, yeah. I said, well, the maintenance man did come like a couple days ago, and he left. My son was like, they didn't do anything. She said, oh yeah, they wanted to check your attic, but he ended up checking the other apartment's attic, and he didn't see anything. I'm like, okay. And I told her about what my son said. I said, well, we do have bats. I said, there's been bats up there. I hear them, for one. And at nighttime, sometimes, I seen them just flying around, coming in and out, right? 2, 3 at a time. And she's like, huh? I said, yeah. And then I told her, I said, oh, my son was like, oh, there's like bugs that eat bats. She's like, I didn't want to tell you that, but yeah, the maintenance man told me that recently. You didn't want to tell me? Like, are you not wanting to tell me because, that could be the issue? Or you didn't want to tell me because you thought I was going to be grossed out? That was my thinking. I'm like, why you didn't want to tell me? Which one is it, right? And she's like, yeah, I didn't want to say anything. So you knew this for a couple days, right? Because obviously he came to my apartment because he wanted to check the attic. So you knew this for a couple days. Or a week. Whatever the time frame was. I don't even remember, y'all. But it was like close, She's like, yeah, that last time when she was squeezing them, and she was like, this doesn't look right. Why are they only just in this part of the hallway? All of this. And she's like, it's right under, because where I see them at, they're right under the attic thing up there, right against the wall. There's like a thing that they could push up, because I know one time we had to get a water heater, and they had to go up there to put the water heater. So it's like a thing that you can remove. And this one, she told me, she's like, yeah, the maintenance man told me about it. So I said, I didn't want to tell you. But I'm thinking more or less that she didn't want to tell me because I was going to be freaked out about it. But I know there's bats up there, so I don't care, So, fast forward. She's like, if you catch any more, bring it in. So, I brought another one in or two in. And I was like, I keep seeing them, and it's only this specific part. I said, I'm not catching any live ones. So, she was like... She had the maintenance man come. I was like, well, you came to my apartment. He's like, yeah, I didn't see anything in the other apartment. He said, you were working. Your son told me that you were working. And, yeah, we just checked out the adjoining apartment's attic. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I didn't see anything up there. But I said, yeah, we definitely have bats in ours. He's like, well, there's meshing up there. I'm like, well, there's a hole up there. There's a hole up there. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, there's a hole up there. I said, when I walk the dogs at nighttime, I've seen them fly in and out, and I hear them, right? I don't know how the attics are, if it's like a straight out attic. I doubt that's the case, but whatever. So anyways, he was like, if I had my magnifying glass, I could take a look, because the bat bug, so there's a bat bug and there's a bed bug, right? The ones that feed off the bats and the regular bed bugs, the bat bugs were first, and then they evolved to bed bugs, okay? They're in the same family, but that's the origin, right? Bat bugs. So they were like, you really can't tell the difference unless you have like a magnifying glass. So they was like, if you see any more, make sure continue to bring them in. So I brought in like a couple more. 1 more, 2 more. It's like 2 at a time. There was one time I had 3 at a time, but that was like over the course of a weekend. And he mentioned about the magnifying glasses. I got one at home. I gotta bring it in one day. So anyways, one day I seen another one. I'm like, I'm tired. Like, when are we gonna get this appointment going, right? So anyways, he was on the phone outside. She was in the office talking with some people, probably some people that wanted to move in. So he was like, what's up? I'm like, here goes another one. I said, if you want to, have it, and then you could check with your magnifying glass to see which one it is, because you could tell the difference, right? He's like, yeah, but you can only see it under a magnifying glass. So a couple days went past. I haven't heard anything, right? So anyways, today's the 14th, and the front office person, while I was talking to him, she seen me, a manager seen me. So she stopped talking to whoever she was talking to inside. She came out. She said, what's going on? I said, I seen some more, only in that same spot. It is dead, but here it goes. I said, if he wants to check it out, let him check it out with his magnifying glass. But I said, I'm ready to process getting an appointment. And she's like, yeah, let's hold off and see what he says. So anyways, as I mentioned, a couple days have passed, right? Couple days, probably like a week has passed. And yeah, y'all, so I got a call today, and this is another lady in the front office. She was like, we think it is bat bug. What we're gonna do is have a person come out and look. Oh, I forgot to tell you, maintenance finally did come again after I spoke with the front office. Because now the front office manager, she's been sure that it wasn't my issue from the get-go. But they got to do their due diligence, which they weren't doing their due diligence. They wanted to hop on everything. But anyways, they put tape up there, right? They was like, well, if you see any more, just let us know, but hopefully this will stop it, right? So automatically you're kind of thinking that it may be bat bugs in the beginning anyway, so you put tape up there. And I still seen some more. That's when I went to the office, and he was outside talking on the phone, and he was like, oh, let me let you go. I gave him the little bag. It was this one little small one in there. I said, I kept ear in there, it's dead, but when I caught it, it was alive. And I'm like, well, at least the stuff is working that I put put out there. And I forgot, we did eventually spray Jamez's bottom, but we never put like that powder down in his room. He just did the spray. So anyways, yeah, they called today, front office. It wasn't the management person, but she's like, yeah, we think it is definitely bat bug. So we're going to have somebody come out on Wednesday. We don't know what time on Wednesday. They're going to check things out, and we'll go from there. So yeah, y'all, based on what he's seen under the magnifying glass, most likely it is a bat bugs, okay? So yeah, it looks like I'll be able to keep my money. They just have to figure out what they need to do. Like I keep telling them, it's just, hopefully they do some type of treatment, because it is in my attic. Because when they went up there, he looked up there with the other person. He was like, yeah, there's been bats up here recently. So he's seen that. He's like, yeah, there's been bats up here recently. So I don't understand how they're getting in. But I kept telling them that at the top point where there's like the little... at the top point, I'm like, there's something up there that's missing, there's a hole up there. And I was mentioning it wrong, because I thought that's where they were coming from, because I'm looking at it at nighttime. In the morning, I'm not looking up there. But one day, they was like, I don't see it, because we have mesh wire up there. And I'm like, oh, that's where there's a hole up there. There's a nice little hole up there. And I said, that's where they're getting in and out from. He said, oh, I see that part. He said, I thought you were talking about that before. I said, I was, but obviously it's late at night. I just see them flying in and out, and it's close by each other. So yeah, y'all, hopefully this dilemma is all over, but at least it's not coming out of my pocket. I will keep you guys posted, but I didn't know that. Now think about this. Bat bugs. I've been here for how long? A little bit over 10 years. What about when I moved in here, if that's what the issue was? If it wasn't bed bugs, it was bat bugs. Think about that. And how many other people in this complex may have had the same issue, and that's what it is? And people just paying out the wazoo for treatments for what? Like I kept telling them, I said, if this issue keeps coming back, they give me a 30-day warranty. They'll do the first heat treatment. They'll come back within 30 days if I see any more. But I'm like, after that point, what happens? It's going to be another $1,000 out of my pocket. What? $950? Because I forgot to mention that Jamez has 2 mattresses. So that would have been an extra $50. And she was like, that's why she wasn't trying to hop on anything. Because I'm like, I'm diligent. I don't complain about nothing, y'all. I didn't ask for any new rugs. I didn't ask for any new laminate. I've been here for how long? I don't ask for anything to be replaced, which it is part of my thing, which I think every 3 years you can ask for something new, like new flooring or whatever. I've never asked for that. I'm simple. I keep up with my stuff, besides like this right here with the cheers and stuff going on the laminate, and it going away, but I don't care about that. But like, I'm not a problem person either. You like, I'm a single person. You know where I came from. It's just me and my son. I do what I need to do. Little hiccups that happen, we get those resolved immediately, but I take action. I came to you as soon as I seen the first one. Like I tell them, I said, the reason I'm writing you is because I want a trail of what's going on. If it is truly my fault, I don't have a problem with paying, I want peace of mind, but if it's not my fault, I don't be paying this much money. You crazy? So anyways, yeah, y'all, they're sure as bat bugs. They look, and the thing is, this is what happens when they come out. When they don't have nothing else to feed on, they will start biting humans. So I'm like, well, if that's where they're coming from, then you probably want to do my whole apartment. But now I'm hoping that once they fix whatever they need to do, but you figure if they're in the cracks in the walls or whatever, there needs to be a treatment done regardless, and hopefully it gets through the cracks in the walls. Because I will say this: when I moved in here, they did a heat treatment. These things came right back, and then eventually the second time around they did something in the walls, and that's what stopped it all. So I'm thinking, what if that's what's the case the whole time? I don't know, but that's what's going on, y'all. Have y'all ever heard of bat bugs? Bat bugs, look it up. They're similar, very similar. They look alike, a little bit different, like the body wise. But yeah, look it up, let me know. But yeah, they were like, yeah, we definitely think it is bat bugs. And I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, we're gonna have somebody come out on Wednesday to come take a look at the upper thing. And I'm like, okay, cool. Because as I kept mentioning, outside of the one I seen in my room that one time, because I was not upstairs for like 3 days in my room, I was just sleeping on the couch. Everything has just been in this particular area. And she just didn't understand. She's like, why are they just there? Like, why? She's like, she just couldn't get around that. And then, so it's just like, do your due diligence, be kind. And, but sometimes you do have to stand your ground. But at the same time, like, if I had paid for something and it came back and it kept coming back, I would have got reimbursed. I would have got reimbursed, because you having me do something and nothing. Like, I had the professionals look at my place, you checked out these two, there's nothing. So where's these things keep coming from? As I mentioned, they're sporadic. So a couple days, sometimes a week, I don't see nothing. This has been going on for how long? So yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Let me enjoy my night. I'm gonna eat. It's probably cold now, but I just wanted to fill you guys in on my dilemma. Yeah, I'll fill you guys in on everything else at a later date, but I'll talk to you soon. Bye.